Hello, it's Elizabeth here, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about fecal incontinence. Fecal incontinence is defined as a loss of control over bowel function. So this can include involuntary loss of liquid stool, solid stool, and even gas. Sometimes patients will notice that they are losing mucus, so it's not so much stool content, but it is just like a runnier type of liquid. Some of the causes for fecal incontinence can be nerve damage, muscle weakness, and even chronic constipation. To talk about the constipation, because that seems a little backwards, when you have chronic constipation, the rectum will actually stretch, and so the nerve endings that are within the rectum are not relaying the information correctly that you need to be going to the bathroom. And then what can happen too is sometimes when you have the mucus or more liquid coming out without having control over it, it's because the hard stool from constipation is blocking the opening, and it's just the fluid or the liquid is able to go around the big mass that's stuck there. With the muscle weakness, so sometimes that can happen during pregnancy, or if you have a lot of straining with the constipation. During pregnancy, obviously the muscles get stretched around the vagina, right? So remember, with your pelvic floor muscles, they go from the front here at your pubic bone and they go back towards your tailbone. So the muscles controlling the back around the rectum and the anus are closely related to the muscles in the front around the vagina and the urethra. So during pregnancy, as these muscles are getting stretched to allow for delivery, the muscles on the backside can also be affected and weakened. And then it's harder to be able to contract to control those urges. Sometimes even in pregnancy, you're going to get some tears as you are delivering, and depending on how deep those tears go, it will go all the way and affect the sphincters around the anus. So with these anal sphincters, you can kind of see in this model here how these fibers are running around. There are fibers of your pelvic floor muscle that will go into the sphincter to help that sphincter close. So if the tear goes into there, then that will also affect your ability to contract and close off that sphincter. In therapy, what we are typically focusing on is trying to strengthen up that pelvic floor to allow good closure when you are doing a Kegel exercise. Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, the muscles go from the front to the back. So when you use the Kehel, which is inserted vaginally, not rectally, you are still exercising and contracting the muscle to affect the back side as well as what you may be feeling on the front side around the vagina and the Kehel. Okay, so remember, it does not go in rectally, only vaginally, and then you would be following a protocol very similar to the stress urinary incontinence protocol, where you are working on trying to get those stronger contractions.